Cool. Back here, looking at kdenlive, specifically the integration with MLT and movit, which enable GPU effects, chasing down what the issue is, and it looks like there's a confluence of issues. There's a kdenlive code that I'm looking at, which is GL widget, is the Qt widget that hosts, or actually, yeah, Qt quick view that hosts the output of MLT. And this is responsible for enabling GL compositing or GPU accelerated compositing, or not, in the case it's not available. And actually, it ends up being implementing 4 different pipelines. I've started partitioning this class into each of these different pipelines, and it's pretty straightforward, pure refactoring, where I'm just creating functions that represent each of the operations that these pipelines perform, and creating these from the existing code. Not really too shocking so far, and this is just kind of clarifying how GLWidget works and the fact that there are these 4 different pipelines, and enabling me to compare each of the pipeline's implementations and make sure they are operating as expected. So far, they mostly are. There's some aspects related to fallbacks on GPU acceleration that I've changed. A few other things related to when the contexts are set and when the contexts are finished, but nothing that really makes a functional difference, or should make a big functional difference in GLWidget. So for the most part, GLWidget's been just GLWidget, and I've hopefully just refactored to improve clarity and improved reliability, but otherwise the functionality is still the same. I'm trying to think there was one major change I made. Oh yeah, it was handling the GL sync function. It should be per context, and this was doing it globally. And again, it shouldn't really cause a functional difference, but if you read into it, the spec, it does not say, here we are, this is global. So yeah, we grabbed that. But yeah, again, no real functional difference. Oh, I added quite a lot of debugging logging, which is just useful to better understand what's going on, and a few more error checks, I think. But yeah, again, nothing really functional different. So since GLWidget was looking pretty good, I started looking into how MLT rendered using the GPU. And while I was developing GLWidget, I started to better understand how this sorry, let me fix my dev environment here. How this bug was occurring. And it was clear that it was occurring because something was operating under the incorrect OpenGL context. And GL context management, especially with respect to multiple threads, is a pain in the butt. I got to make sure it's all in order. Fortunately, MLT kind of had consideration for this. I say kind of because it looked incomplete. That's it. Just looked incomplete. Where it had this concept that the MLT consumers could delegate to the event system to instantiate the threads. But weirdly, it wasn't fully utilized. And it had a restriction for some settings of the real-time flag on whether this was used or not. I think that there is an issue there. But the issue is more of an interface one, where using this real-time value to dictate whether these threads are used, it delegates to the vent system to do the threads, is in itself an issue, in my opinion. And let me make this a bit bigger. Ooh. Okay, well, it's as big as it'll get without it going weird. That'll do. So yeah, I think that's just an interface. That should be a different interface. Whether you're